Well, as the saying goes, when you thought it was over, it's never truly over until it's actually over. Or in this case, it's not over until it's the final whistle, final kick of the game. Because I did do my quick reaction to Obsession, which I will link down below and you can watch that. But today or tonight or whenever you're watching this, could be a different time zone, could be in a different country you're watching this in, and we are talking about the Champions League final where Arsenal, they were going into this coming off of the league win, the champions of England, champions of the Premier League, winning that league after 22 years. I talked about that, how it was actually quite good to see Arsenal winning the Premier League because it just shows you, it comes a certain point where you need to have someone new winning the league, otherwise it just becomes a bit of a bore fest, and was always Man City, Liverpool, and all that. And so there was that, but then I was like, you know what? If Arsenal was to go on and win the Champions League, I mean, what an achievement it could be, because you don't really see a lot of Premier League teams winning the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season, unless you're Pep Guardiola or Sir Alex Ferguson. But other than that, this match could have been so much better. Sometimes when you see a football game on paper, you're just like, this screams an absolute amazing football match with the teams that are competing and all that. But it just wasn't amazing to watch, if you know what I mean. Like, you have the goal, like that one there that Kai Havertz scores, and then the penalty that was quite an obvious penalty. But it was just a shootout between the two of them where Arsenal created the chances, the ball kept falling away from the net, and then the goalkeeper saves it, and then PSG create all the chances and they miss it, and then just kind of all of that go on and on and on for almost 90 plus minutes into extra time, into half time extra time, into full time extra time. And as soon as it goes right to the final whistle or to the final wire of the game, you just had a feeling that I think that Arsenal's nerve was going to get to them at some point, because you just know that they're not experienced champions of Europe. So you just thought PSG were going to have something up their sleeve. And what PSG were preparing for was to see Arsenal miss the crucial penalty that could have actually taken the game to sudden death, where you have them score more penalties. It goes from being five each, and then they have to score another set of five penalties. But PSG stopped all of that because the Arsenal player, decided to skive it right over the bar and send Arsenal into the runners-up medals at the end of the ceremony. And that's absolutely what happened here. And so if I was an Arsenal fan just looking at this from that perspective, I would be disappointed that Arsenal didn't win this, but then you've got to say to yourself, you know what, at least Arsenal got the Premier League in the bag and they won that. So it could have been a lot worse for Arsenal here. A lot of different contexts could have been applied if they didn't win the league and they went in this game and it was like, oh no, what are we going to do in this game? What's going to happen? But it just shows you, even Arsenal winning the league just shows you that even PSG at just kind of a average playstyle level can still run Arsenal off the park on penalties, and you just saw it from the experience side of it. So that PSG were going to dominate it because they just had it already solidified. It was kind of like, in a certain way, this was PSG's bread and butter because they already knew how to win the Champions League. So many analogies, so many ways you can characterize it, describe it, all that. But wasn't the most brilliant final, but the champions do what the champions do and they get it over the line. It doesn't need to be 5-0 or 2-3-0. If it's one each and it's on penalties and you know how to get it done, then that's just how it has to be. So, yeah, all the credit goes to PSG here. Arsenal, they threw it away with not scoring enough goals. PSG, you could have argued, threw it away with not scoring enough goals. But the person that scored all the or the players that scored all the penalties, end up being the champions of Europe. And so, yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. I also want to quickly talk about another football match that happened yesterday, which I'll get to quickly after this one. So see you after. Goodbye.